So I recently found this at an old game store, and it's, oh, nice, didn't even see that. It actually says Sega. I don't even know if you can see that. Yeah, Power Plug, Sega. It's actually a Super Nintendo one. But anyway, so this thing is basically some sort of like a turbo add-on, and normally they wouldn't be terribly interesting to me, but it kind of looks like there's some extra features in this other than variable turbo, auto fire. So there's like the ability to create basically macros, which I thought might be interesting to use for like attract tests on, what is it? Like Super FX games, or testing emulators comparatively, things like that. So if I could find like 2 or 3 buttons that make the game play itself for a little bit, you can kind of test out what the relative speed of things would be, and kind of mimic what it would be in like a task video or emulation, to try to figure out, how close emulation or FPGA solutions, for example, are to this. I thought that might be a neat little hacky way of achieving that. Plus, I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of these around, but never one that's like boxed up like this. And I think it says like $15 here. Yeah, $15. But I bought it for like way less. Of course, the box is a bit sun damaged and looks pretty awful. But yeah, I thought maybe I would just open it up and see what the darn thing does. So let's see. Opening tool. And you know what, before we open it, I'm just going to read off what this says it does. Make any Super NES controller the ultimate weapon. And actually, that's kind of cool. They have a picture of Star Fox right there. So, works with any Super NES compatible controller. And I'm assuming it kind of bridges, which is why it can do that. Enhances the power of any controller. Great, that's very vague. Increases a player's skill level. No. Great for all fighting, shooting, driving, and sports games. Okay, fighting games? Alright. Shooting? I guess like Contras. Driving and sports games. I don't know. I'm trying to think of in what context they would mean that. Anyways, includes a detailed instruction/code manual. Now that's interesting. Why would it need a code manual? So let's see. What else does it say? Right here, we've got power steering. Wow, that kind of looks okay. Now you can have incredibly smooth directional control, unlike anything you've experienced in a video game before. I'm kind of wondering how that's achieved. Auto fire, that's pretty standard for any of these turbo things. Variable turbo automatically turns turbos on any controller button. Maximum speed available. Slow-mo, any speed in between, and can be overlaid on thrash and pro thrash moves. So let's see what thrash is here. Now you can select pre-programmed special moves for many of the more complex fighting games. For example, Street Fighter II, Ryu's Fireball can now be activated at the touch of one button instead of the usual 4. Okay, so maybe those are pre-configured, like macros? I don't know. So then Pro Thrash, this is the one that is interesting. Now you can have the flexibility to create and save your own complex attacks in one button. So, okay, I guess that's the macro stuff that I want. And then finally, Clone transforms any controller button into a power plug button. I guess this thing, it changes any of your controller buttons into one of the buttons that does any of this, so you can quickly activate and deactivate. I don't know, it's kind of bizarre wording. But yeah, and you can see right on the front here, it's got all the features, and I don't know, pretty nice packaging in general. Is there anything of note? It is licensed by Nintendo. That's interesting. It's got a official seal of quality. And a 90-day warranty. Hopefully it works. I'll be taking them up on that if Tyco still exists. I think they do. I think they do. Well, anyways, let's try to open it without destroying the box. What's the easy part? Oh, it's one of these. Oof. Hang on. Maybe I can get another tool. Here we go. And you know what? Let's switch to the big cam. Alright. I'm just going to move the Super Nintendo out of the way for a sec. Okay. Alright. There we go. Pretty nice. Ugh. Plastic's a little gross. Throw this over here. Alright. So, of course, there's some damage to the box here. Don't feel too bad unboxing this. Ugh. And here we are. So we got not much in this. Some sort of a code on the top of the box. Interesting. Let's look at all this. Pretty nice packaging. Alright, let's see what's in here. Oh, here it is. Got a nice little manual. Owner's manual. Nice. Definitely smells like a piece of electronics. Let's see. Oh, here's what they must mean. Street Fighter. I'm gonna switch to the big cam, or the other cam for a sec. So, I'm guessing this is what they were talking about when they were saying it comes with like a hotkey kind of thing. It seems to have like pre-configured codes for like all of the fireball moves in Street Fighter 2 Turbo Edition. So Dalzim's Yoga Teleport. Move Thrash. So this is all the pre-programmed ones, I'm guessing, for the Thrash button. So yeah, pretty nice. So wow, this is actually a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, especially from the package. Looks like it's in pretty good condition. So we've got the power plug here, and hey, this is actually pretty cool. There's a controller extension. So let's see. We've got the manual. And it's got, you know, some stuff, some quick reference stuff. And I'm guessing that's just because, you know, just remember how to do things, I believe. So, button to turbo, press and hold. Yeah, I don't know if I really understand how this is supposed to work. This is actually pretty complex, but the manual is pretty nice. So Axley, other Pro Thrash examples. So let's see how Pro Thrash works. Pro Thrash will record any combination of moves that you make and then save them in a single controller button. This is similar to Thrash, only here you create your own personal Thrash Pro. Pro Thrash is the most flexible and powerful power plug feature, so it's useful for all types of games. For instance, in John Madden's football, you can create a Pro Thrash for breaking tackles. Use your imagination, and you'll come up with ways to use Pro Thrash on your favorite games. Okay, that doesn't tell us how to use it. So, how to use it? Press Pro to tell the power plug that you want to record a combination move. Notice the Pro light will be blinking. Press any controller button to hold your combination move. Create the sequence of moves you want recorded. Press Pro again to tell the power plug that you are done. So yeah, this seems to do almost exactly what I would want it to do, and seems to be able to make a longer macro. That's not just a few keys, hopefully. So, here it is. Here it is. If the power plug beeps several times while recording a thrash, the power plug has run out of memory. Try resetting the button or recording a shorter thrash. So the maximum is 17 button presses, which, I mean, honestly, that kind of sucks for what I want this for. But I guess I could make it work. I'd just have to basically hold down that button and get it to repeat the sequence of moves. So, yeah, Pro Thrash example. When you use directional Pro Thrash attack during a game, remember to tap once in the direction that you want to attack before launching the attack. Interesting. So, Kind of wondering what's in this thing that does all this. Might be taking it apart rather soon. But anyway, yeah, it's in really nice condition for being out in the sun. Its box at least. So good stuff. And there we've got the controller port. It's kind of weird. If you take a look at the actual plug here, it looks like it's kind of exposed pins. I don't know if that's just like a weird pre-production design, but in case you're wondering, it is an actual port, no exposed pins or anything, and it's pretty standard looking. So yeah, let's see these buttons. They feel nice enough. Turbo, slow. This is kind of weird, this little rocker. I don't really know what that's for, but maybe we'll give it a spin. I don't know. Alright, let's move all of the boxes. They have a Star Fox cart. We're gonna go get a Star Fox cart. I'm gonna plug in Star Fox, and let's see how this fits. A little snug. Jeez. Alright, let me get a original controller. Okay, let's try this in here. That fits a lot better. Interesting. So, let's see how this works. Whoa. Some sort of a beep from it. Okay, so to use the Pro mode, apparently you press Pro, and then do the button combination, and then press Pro again. So it's basically like a macro keyboard kind of thing. So let's try this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Pro, doot, doot. Alright, so how do we activate it now? So let's see if I actually do that. Press Pro to tell the now. Oh, I gotta press the button. So let's do Pro, So interesting. So even though we reached the limit, as long as I'm holding this button, it executes the macro. So I might be able to use this. It seems rather inexact, though. I seem to be trailing a little. Unless maybe my macro is a little bit off. So let me try it over here. So I'm gonna hold select and then doesn't seem to have actually captured the spinning. Rather imprecise this is. But I mean, this would be useful for some things, obviously. Turbo. How does this work? Slow down the game? Wait. Press and hold start and press turbo. Alright. So, press and hold start. We're gonna have to do it inside.
Goodbye.
Or if it even works. Okay. And press auto. Oh, I get it. So you can keep on pausing and unpausing. That's what they're trying to do. Ah, okay. So doesn't seem to help Starfox at all. I don't know. Might have to take a look on something else. Well, I can just hold it down, and it continues to press. And you can see the turbo light flicker there. So that does work. Just doesn't seem like it's terribly reliable in some ways. And obviously I don't think the pause trick works for Star Fox in general. How to reset a single controller button. So that how to reset all controller buttons. Alright, alright. So us pressing reset twice tells it to clear everything. Yeah, I don't know. And they have some, like, ones that you can kind of pre-configure for the Pro Thrash to, like, automatically escape tackles or hole-in-one golf. A bunch of golf games. Some stuff for Battletoads. I don't know. Super Bowling. Is there anything actually interesting in this? Combining features. You can add turbo and auto to any thrash. Okay. So, how to add turbo to a thrash? Or Pro Thrash. Alright. So button, and then have remove turbo. Okay. So basically, you could move and shoot forever. So maybe I can do some track tests for Doom and some other Super Nintendo games with this. But follow these self-test steps. Press and hold the power plug reset button and turn on your Super... Okay. So, I wonder if some of the weirdness that I'm experiencing is some sort of malfunction. So, let's try this. Press and hold the power plug reset button and turn on your Super Nintendo control deck. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to test it out. Okay, so it's going to blink like that. So technically, at least according to the manual, that means everything's working properly. Interesting. Well, I might test this out with some other games eventually. But let's put this into effect of what we've learned. So training. Alright, we're going to go up into the corner here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to press Pro. We're going to do select, and then we're going to go interesting. So you can do that. And you can add a turbo to it, so you can speed up the rate. That's actually pretty interesting. So, I don't know. I guess, in general, this thing is a little bit cooler than I'd expect. It's not just a turbo, it's actually kind of a macro device, so I'm actually kind of interested in seeing what's in this now. So we're gonna get out the tools, and I'm gonna see. I wonder what happens if we interrupt this, though. No, it just continues. So it can potentially just do this again and again. This kind of makes me wonder what daisy chaining these would do. That's probably not enough power for two of them from this port, but definitely interesting, because it definitely, you can see it, it's just continuing to do all of this even in turbo mode. And we can even slow it down, supposedly. Probably not by much, since it's Star Fox. But yeah, pretty cool. So, I'm gonna see what's in it. Long screws in this. At least these ones are okay. So, these small ones go on the side ones, long ones in the front here, just in case anyone else is trying to take these apart. And you can see the seal of quality down here as well. Pretty interesting. Nice little rubber feet on this. I'm quite impressed with the construction of this thing. Okay. We're halfway there. And again, these ones on the side seem to be the same screws as the one on the front here. Only the top two seem to be any different. Yeah, almost lost one. And again, these are same little screws. They're magnetized too, which is interesting. Alright, moment of truth. What's in here? Interesting. Well, that's the speaker. A little cheap speaker here. That's the SNES. I don't want to break anything because I like that speaker, so I'm going to move the SNES for a little. It does seem to be a rather simple design in here. So if we take a look, we've got this big IC. I wonder what kind that is. It says Tyco on it. Has everything pinned out for the controller ports. I wonder if there's a way for me to get this stuff up without harming anything. Is there anything on the back of this? Just the membranes for the buttons. Doesn't seem to be any chips or anything on that side. But yeah, pretty interesting. Wonder if I can get a better look with it. This isn't the best camera in the world, but okay. Well, that's a little bit better. And yeah, as you can see, that's all the ICs. A little bit of super glue holding things together. These seem to be maybe Motorola chips. Let's see. Well, it certainly looks like the Motorola logo. These guys right here. And then this is a Tyco chip itself. Maybe some sort of a custom, like, programmable RAM kind of a thing. Or maybe that's what these are, the memory. Interesting, though. And now we know why this has such long screws. It holds this guy in. And I don't know if we got a real look at this before, but this is basically just the rubber membranes for the buttons here. There's not much else going on as far as I can see. No ICs, no interesting things other than lights. So yeah, pretty interesting little piece of kit. Obviously it's kind of like a cheat device in some ways. But definitely interesting. I wonder if these can be used or extended in any way in terms of memory. Seal the quality. So yeah, that's the Tyco Power Plug. I'm just going to be putting it back together here, and it's I don't know, somewhat less basic than some other turbo alternatives for earlier game consoles, but you know, kind of interesting still. And I don't know, hopefully I'll be able to make some track tests for some Super Effects games and maybe some other games that need some specific tests done on them. So who knows, might come in handy, might not. I think I only paid like $5 for it, new in box at a local game store, so not much of a difference either way, but well worth the little bit of effort it took to take a look at it. And hopefully folks enjoy. And if you'd ever wanted a how-to on how to use this, I guess this video can kind of function as that. I think I went through most of the major features, including the turbo and the macro feature. So I don't know. Anyway, power plug. Have a good one.